Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Useful Tips and Tricks in Leagues 6. A lot of you enjoyed the last video, thank you so much for the 40,000 views, so let's run it back again. I got about 15 minutes of useful League 6 information and there should be something for every player here. Number 1, let's start with a general beginner's tip that can help everyone. I browse Leagues Discord a lot and always see this kind of messages. I'm struggling to get my last 2000 points for tier 7 relic, any tips for this? And yes, I do have one. If you go to OSRS wiki, click on the League 6 section, scroll down until you see another article for tasks. It pops up all the available tasks in these leagues. Here you can sort this entire list by completion percentage. It showcases how many players have completed these tasks and it basically tells you how easy these are. For example, I have a 30-point task I still haven't completed, which is entering the Wizards Guild, and over 92% of players have already completed that. You can even take this a little further by clicking on the completion percentage and then click on the points list. This now adjusts the entire list based off different point thresholds. So I can see all the 10-point tasks, then 30, then 80 points, and if I scroll way down, I can also get the 200-point task list and see what are the easiest ones to complete. For me, there is a 200-point task for cooking a dark crab. For some reason, I still haven't done this despite it taking less than a minute to complete. Basically, if you're stuck and don't know what task to complete next, you can sort this entire list by how easy they are to gain tons of extra points. This also works for demonic packs. If you go to that article of the main page, there's an option to see what demonic packs are the most completed. For example, if I pick Kandarin, Kurend and Wilderness, I can see that over 95% of players have defeated a Chaos Dwarf, which is a demonic pact point. If you want to sync up Wiki with your own character, you can also download the Wiki Sync RuneLite plugin, and that immediately tracks all your progress on your account. So you can pick the regions that you have in-game, see what people have completed, and take it from there. Number 2, if you pick the Endless Harvest, I've seen a lot of players get 99 mining through iron ore. And don't get me wrong, it is a very decent method. I got about 2.4 million experience an hour in Varlamore, but there is also a better method that is available to almost everyone, and that is gem mining. With this, you can get up to 4 million mining experience per hour, and you also get tons of uncut gems, which can be sold for money or turned into crafting experience later on. Keep in mind, the only requirement for this is charged glory, and there are a couple of ways to get this. Firstly, you make it yourself. It has level 80 crafting requirements and you need uncut dragonstone alongside with gold bar. And then you need to get charges. If you have Ascarnia unlocked, you can do it at Heroes Guild. If you have Kandarin unlocked, you can do it at Myths Guild. If you have Wilderness unlocked, you can do it at Fountain of Runes. Once you have equipped Glory with a pickaxe, come here to Shiloh Village and you get about 40% more experience than you would get with any other mining method in the game. I love Endless Harvest. It makes some of the skills much more enjoyable. And you know what else I love? Some quality RuneScape merchandise. I am partnering with Creator Crafted once again. They bring RuneScape back to life with some awesome quality merchandise like LED signs, desk mats, metal posters, pins, statues, and much more. Currently, they have an amazing spring sale happening with metal posters that are available in 5 different design options and brand new RGB desk mats you can pre-order right now. My personal favorite is the Chambers of Seri green glowing desk mat. It looks absolutely amazing and I highly recommend getting it yourself. On top of that, there are so many other products that are on sale right now, and you can use my custom code for additional 10% off on the already existing discount on the website. So if you're looking to get something for yourself or someone close to you, this is a great time to purchase some awesome RuneScape merchandise. There's a link in the description. Use my code Kriibus to get additional 10% off on your next purchase, and also this supports me as a content creator. Thank you so much, and now let's continue with the video. Number 3. If you've done some Hunter Guild rumors, don't drop your duplicate rewards like Quetzal Whistle blueprints and Guild Hunter outfit pieces. Instead, take them all out of the bank, go to Hunter's Guild downstairs pub and use them on Guild Scribe Variety to get an extra reward sack. You don't get any uniques from this sacks, but it does give you more supplies like herbs, logs, food, prayer experience, and so on. This is really good for people who picked Woodsman Relic and are doing tons of Hunter rumors anyways. Number 4. If you pick Kandarin and you already got 99 magic, you can go to Magic Guild, buy the cape for 99,000 coins and use this to get access to lunar spells without needing to unlock FREMMENIK region. Lunar Diplomacy quest is auto-completed if you unlock Kandarin region, and that unlocks tons of spells even without having access to Lunar Isle. For example, let's start with utility spells. Firstly, we have NPC Contact. You want a new Slayer task without having to run to Shiloh Village? This fixes the problem. Want to get a new Mahogany Homes task? You can do it through NPC contact. Want to fix your runecrafting pouches? Yep, you got the idea, NPC contact. My favorite use for this is making Urania teleport portal in my player-owned house. For the Urania teleport itself, you need to talk to Baba Yaga in LUNAR Isle, which you don't have access unless you picked FREMMENIK. But you can still make the portal inside your player-owned house. So this gives better access to CMI altar for Kandarin users. Now it does require astral runes for the spells, but since you already have Kandarin unlocked, you can just use CMI altar to make those runes yourself, or if you have Transmute Relic, you can turn other runes into astral as well. So if you have 99 magic and Kandarin, go get your Lunar spellbook for free and unlock a lot of new spells. Number 5. Goading potions are extremely easy to make in leagues and they make your combat experience much better. Here's how. First of all, there are a couple of tasks with mastering mixology. One of them is making 100 rejuvenation potions and another one is making 50 goading potions. Since you get 8 times more minigame points in leagues, you can get about 10 Aldariums per minute. So all of those 150 potions can be done in less than 20 minutes. Also, mastering mixology has some other easy tasks as well. There is like 600 points that can be completed in few hours. Goading potions are specifically really good if you're going Thorns build. You aggro all the monsters near you, they attack you and you deal damage back to them without needing to put in any effort. It's specifically good for Slayer tasks in multi-zones, so Mauritania, Wilderness, Grand, Kandarin, Desert, and so on. Another example, and I saw this on Reddit, is Maniacal Monkeys in Kandarin. You can just pick a skeleton or monkey slayer task, go there and just AFK while you get all the experience. Extremely chill and good method not only for slayer, but also for combat experience. So if you're still AFKing at gemstone grabs, there are much better ways to AFK and get your combat levels up. Mostly coming from Thorns build, but also goading potions. Okay, let's do a quick fire round. Here we go, 3, 2, 1. You can make the demonic pack skill tree bigger by dragging it around the bottom right corner so you can see the entire tree and not just a zoomed in version. If you have Runelight, go to Ground's item plugin, scroll down until you see ownership filter and change that to takeable. This hides all the annoying items everyone else drops on the ground. So all the weird glue items or boss drops from other players are invisible. If you take Ascarnia, you can reclaim magic secateurs from Malignus for 40k for better farm yields. Decorating a magic totem in Auburn Valley now completes both the fully decorate Redwood totem as well as fully decorate the magic totem. So you get kind of 2-in-1 deal. There is a 200-point jar task that you have to put inside your player-owned house. So if you're bossing, don't forget to pick one of these up at any boss and place it inside your POH for some easy points. And okay, back to regularly scheduled facts. I still have a couple of good ones I left for last. Number 6. If you're looking to greenlog forestry or have a social experience, World 400 Avium Savannah is full of people who are doing digs for firemaking and woodcutting. I got my 10,000 forestry points here to unlock felling axe upgrades and a couple of other forestry tasks. Plus I got 25 million firemaking and woodcutting experience as well, which is just another 400-point task. Now, if you want to complete any group PvM activity like Nex or Nightmare Boss, World 651 is your best bet to find small teams to help you out. Jagex also added worlds for other specific activities like Raids, Huey Quaddle, Blast Furnace, Guardians of the Rift, and so on. Number 7. One of the things that really annoyed me was the fact that when I'm doing my magic build, I want to have a couple of things in my inventory while I deposit everything else. That includes my rune pouch, Evil Eye Teleport Relic, Minion, and my Quetzal Whistle. Jagex added this feature a couple of months ago where you can lock certain inventory locations, so if you click deposit everything, the items in these inventory spaces won't be deposited to your bank. This is really useful if you always want to have certain items in your inventory no matter what. To access this yourself, go to any bank, open up the settings menu at the top left corner and click on deposit lock settings. Here you can lock any inventory slot available. I like to keep my important stuff at the bottom, so I just lock the entire bottom row, and that means anytime I press deposit all inside my bank, it won't deposit items in those 4 spaces. Extremely useful feature for leagues. Number 8. Let's talk about PvM a little bit. If you're struggling to get things done, there is a 23-point Water Thorns build that will get you through almost anything in the game. The idea is that you're consistently going to be at 160 hit points through overheal nodes. You're also consistently healing yourself with water spells and thorns, and it's one of the safest builds out there. You're not gonna have the absolute best DPS in the game, but it will be almost impossible to die because you're just so tanky with this build. The main skill tree nodes here are these two: Number 1. Attacking with melee weapons or thorns has a 10% chance to heal you based off your distance between you and your targets. Since you're going to be using magic, you're always going to be 10 tiles away, and that basically means maximum amount of healing. And the other popular node is water spells bounce back to you, healing for 60% of the damage dealt. So if you deal damage or take damage, you heal yourself. That's what makes this build so bulletproof. For example, doing something like Colosseum. This build is essentially a free passage to infinitely try out fights against Soul Heretics. Nothing really can get you in the first 11 waves. It's not gonna get you the quiver because you still need to use melee for Soul Heretics, but it will get you the final fights very consistently, and if you don't have Colosseum completed in the main game, this build is a very nice way to get a first look into this PvM activity. Also, there is a 200 point task to get 40,000 glory, and you don't need to complete entire run to get this task. You can get it within the first 11 waves as well. Same goes for echo bosses. It's a very simple approach to get those unique weapons that get you through mid game. I tried this build at something like Cerberus that has 40% water weakness, and it absolutely shreds the boss. Another activity that has water elemental weakness is Inferno. This 23 point build makes Inferno basically AFK. As long as you can move your mouse a couple of times a minute, you can very easily get to Suck, and guess what? Even Suck has a 40% elemental weakness. So if you've never done Inferno before, and just like with Colosseum, you want to dip your toes in, this build is a perfect way to go about it. I'll post a link in the description with this 23 point build so you can check it out yourself. Okay, let's continue. Number 9. There is a cool trick to get 4 million Slayer experience an hour if you have Evil Eye and Culling Spree relics. What you do is simple. Go to a Slayer master closest to you. For example, in Kandarin, I'm just gonna use Slayer ring and teleport right next to Steve. By the way, you can buy Slayer rings for 75 points in the Slayer reward shop, and it does have a bunch of teleports to FREMMENIK, Mauritania, and Kandarin. If you have Lunars unlocked from Kandarin or FREMMENIK like I mentioned before, you can just use NPC contact to also get another task really fast. After you talk with the Slayer master, you pick a boss task with Culling Spree and choose 5kc, aka the minimum amount you can take. Reason why this is so good is because long time ago, Jagex added a feature where you get 5000 Slayer experience for completing any boss task. This is before League's multiplier kicks in, so use your Evil Eye relic to teleport to that boss, kill it for 5kc, and that gives you 80,000 Slayer experience for a couple of minutes of your time. Then teleport straight back to a Slayer Master and repeat this process again. Why is this so good? Well, like I said, 99 Slayer takes about 4 hours. Secondly, you get to hunt down a variety of different bosses, and since loot multipliers are also boosted, there is a very high chance you get unique drops that also count as League tasks. Now there is one downside to this, which is that you don't get superiors with boss Slayer, and superior Slayer monsters also have a lot of good 200 point tasks in leagues. But if you want an easy way to get those Slayer levels up, this is one of the more fun ways to go about it. And finally, number 10, I saved my personal favorite for last, and it is this. Out of all the relics in this game, I think Larcenist is the absolute best choice. I mentioned in the previous video how you can pickpocket in Tsar Gem stalls and have a chance to obtain uncut onyxes. Even if you go dry, you can sell the uncut gems back to the store with Karamja gloves and get insane amount of Tokol. Next to it is also a mining stall that gives you runite, adamant and mithril ore. These, believe it or not, can also be sold back to the store for Tokol. So it is an insanely good moneymaker for relic first of all. Secondly, if you plan to pick a Larcenist, you can completely skip glue relic. For example, I need ranger boots for my Ascarnia grind because there is a 400 point task to equip all the Cerberus boots. Larcenist kinda solves this problem for me. Reason why it's so good is because when you pickpocket one glue scroll box, you actually end up getting 10 instead. So all I do is go pickpocket any NPC for medium glues. In my case, it was gnomes, and it solves my ranger boots problem. In this clip, I started pickpocketing, went to go make myself something to eat, came back 15 minutes later, and I already had over 100 medium glues in my inventory. It also works for hard and elite glues same way. In my example, hard glues come from paladins in Kandarin, but this works in many other regions as well. I pickpocket paladins for half an hour, get about 50 hard glues, and then I can complete these whenever I want. Besides glues and money, a lot of regions just have insane loot tables. You probably already seen some other awesome content creators pick the run one and get 50 50 million crafting and smithing experience really easily. Of course, we also have Mauritania with the infinite blood shards pickpocketing, and that works really well with the Thorns melee build because more healing is never bad. It takes approximately 7 minutes to pickpocket 280 coin pouches with this relic, and this is amplified even more with the RT Tyrus completion that increases your coin pouch numbers. So if you're looking to AFK something while getting points, this is the option to go with. As always, please go check out Creator Crafted for some awesome RuneScape merchandise and use my code Kriibus to get 10% off on your next purchase. I thank you for watching and I'll see you in a few days. Bye!